以下為個人意見節目，內容提及嘅所有政綱及言論均以嘉賓原話為準，敬請留意。
市選論英雄 Municipal Election Talks 節目主持 Adam
Kern。Hello， 大家好，歡迎我哋嚟到今晚嘅省選論英雄啊！咁今日嘅省選論英雄呢，我唔知大家有冇聽眾們係住喺 Ward 24嘅，係多倫多嘅 Ward 24 Ward 24。咁呢，我哋今日嘅嘉賓即係市選嘅 candidate 呢，係Mr. Dan Fox。Hi Dan, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so let us first maybe perhaps introduce where is Ward 24. Ward 24 is very important to our audience because there are a lot of Chinese people living in this ward. So you can describe to us the boundary.
Yes, I understand there's a significant Chinese community in Ward 24, which is part of the riding of Willowdale. Willowdale is an old community in North York, and the boundaries are Steeles to the north, Yonge Street to the west, just past the 404, Highway 404 to the east to Victoria Park, and then to the south, part of the ward goes to Finch, and in one place it extends all the way down to the 401. So most of the intersection of Bayview and Shepherd is in the ward, and parts of the new Shepherd subway line.
係啦，咁大家聽眾們要留意啦。如果你住喺呢個特別係呢個 ward 咧，你要真係要認識下阿 Dan Fox 啊。咁咧就係其實就北邊咧就去到 Steele 啦，咁就南面咧佢去到401或者係 Finch 啦，咁係東邊咧就去到404啦或者 Victoria Park， 咁就西邊去到 Yonge Street 嘅。咁其中入邊咧都有好多即係 landmark 嘅，咁we have a lot of landmarks there. We have Seneca College.
Yep. At Seneca College, the Newnham campus is in the ward,
yeah.
And also North York General Hospital.
係啦，有個北區醫院啦嚇。
Bayview Village Shopping Centre. 係。And Bayview and Bessarion and Leslie subway stations.
係啦，咁就有個新嘅 subway 啦，即係有幾個 station 嗰個由Shepherd 嗰條 line 一路伸展咁啦，咁嗰個都係呢一個區嘅地標嘅。咁啊都有幾個中國人嘅商場嘅，有啲酒樓啊、牛家莊啊，有幾個即係 Leslie and Finch 啊，咁有好多個中國人餐廳都係喺嗰度聚集嘅，咁所以咧呢一個 Ward 24咧係一個非常重要，對我哋華語電台嘅聽眾們咧就非常關注嘅，咁我亦都要好小心地去認清楚，即係呢個 Ward 嘅而家即係候選嘅candidate 啦，阿 Dan Fox 啊。So Dan, this is your first time running this ward's election.
Yes, this is my first municipal election.
Yeah.
Although I've been involved in politics for many years now, over 10 years, at the provincial and the federal levels in Willowdale.
Yeah, OK。咁啊 Dan Fox 咧頭先就話，即係佢都有10年嘅競選經驗啦。咁今次咧喺呢個 ward 度咧就係即係第一次參選嘅。咁 we are talking about the incumbent and the structure of this ward politically first. So you put yourself live in this ward?
I live very close to the ward in Willowdale, right on the boundary.
Right on the boundary, yeah. And at the current moment, we know that we have an incumbent councillor on this ward for quite a long time, Mr. David Sina.
David Shiner has been the councillor, has been a councillor in North York since 1991.
Yep.
And he hasn't indicated yet whether he will be running or not, but the deadline to register is coming up on September 12th, and I expect that he will.
Okay. And other candidates?
There are a few other candidates, but I don't know anything about them, and I haven't seen their websites or any information on the city website. I know that I registered early. I was the first candidate to register, and I have a website with lots of details about my platform and my ideas.
咁阿 Dan 咧就講啦，就佢呢一個 ward 咧有一位好即係老牌嘅，即係做咗好多年啦嚇 David Shanna 啦，就都好多屆㗎啦嚇，咁就但係咧就未表態，因為表態最尾嘅日子咧係9月12號嚇，咁大選咧就係10月27號嘅，大家記住呢個日子嚇，咁就未表態，咁其他我問。Dan Fox 咧有冇其他嘅參加者啦？咁啊仲有2位，但係我相信我哋亦都未訪問過佢哋嘅嚇，因為即係可能喺啲 website 度都未係太出現咁樣嚇。咁唔緊要，因為我哋省選論英雄咧。就即係市選論英雄咧，我哋幾個主持嘉賓咧係冇選擇性咁樣訪問啲嘉賓嘅嚇，由阿 Stephanie 一路策劃，咁我哋輪到邊個咧就邊個嘅，咁係比較好啲嘅，有個公平性同埋有個即係中立性嘅嚇。咁啊要首先咧認識多啲，首先呢位即係 Ward 24嘅即係候選人士啦，就係阿 Dan Fox 啊。咁主要咧我係會問下佢即係。點解要咁樣從政法啦，同埋佢之前做過啲咩啦，同埋之後係想點樣 run 嗰個即係市政嘅嚇。咁我哋一步步咁樣開始同阿 Dan Ford 傾偈啦。So Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself and let our audience know you more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a graduate of the University of Western Ontario. I studied several different subjects and graduated with a degree in geography, and I also studied with geography some urban planning. So I think that will help with doing the job of city councillor. I think it's important to have a strong background in the issues that present themselves at City Hall. I've also worked in government for many years at both provincial and the federal level, delivering services to people and working with people and hearing from people in the community about what they expect from government. So that's part of my background and the knowledge that I bring to the job.
Okay, let me translate to our audience. So Dan Fox 咧就頭先講就係話佢喺Western University 畢業啦，咁讀過幾科，咁佢畢業個科咧就係地質學嘅，咁就一路喺政府單位度做事嘅，咁佢一路而家都係仲做緊 Service Canada， 咁 Service Canada 咧就同 Service Ontario 係唔同嘅 ，Service Canada 咧係一個 provincial 同埋 federal 嘅 level 嘅，咁嗰個咧係做啲譬如話 EI 啊、CPP 啊嗰方面嘅嘢嘅。咁據我所知咧，佢就係譬如話有時我哋 submit 啲 claims 啊，嗰啲unemployment insurance 啊，咁佢係有份去處理嘅。咁所以咧，佢係比較熟悉喺政府架構同埋即係市民嗰個服務嗰方面咧就好明瞭嘅。咁當然佢喺Western 大學畢業嘅時間咧，亦都係對呢個 town planning 啊嗰方面咧就有所認識。咁所以咧就佢覺得自己咧將會當選呢個councillor 咧就有信心，同埋覺得自己係應該咁樣做到嘅。So know a bit about yourself, and then why are you decided to come into politics? I know you have been working for this for some time, but this particular time, particular year, any particular thoughts?
There is a good reason why now is the time I decided to get involved in politics by running. I've always wanted to make a difference. I've always wanted to do something to make things better. And when I started in politics, it was getting involved at the provincial and the federal level. And as we approached this election, I looked at what was happening at City Hall, and it's not working. They're not working together. I think that everybody knows the problems that certain politicians have been having. And we can do better. We need people who are willing to work together and understand the issues and are not just fighting with each other for personal gain. And so I decided that this was the time that I could make a difference, that I could do something for my community.
Dan Fox 咧就話，即係佢見到而家多倫多嘅市政咧都亂啦，我直接咁樣講啦。其實我哋都可能有同感嘅，或者大家如果住喺即係附近區域都有啲同感。咁所以咧就引發起咧佢係想出嚟從政出嚟係選舉嘅。咁就不如我哋又問下佢，即係想做到啲咩啊？如果佢當選或者係有啲咩急切嘅問題，佢係想處理嘅。Well, we have limited time here, so if you are allowed to say only 3 things
Well, it's how
that you want to change
Yeah.
in this ward or in the city of Toronto, what would you say?
Well, the 3 things that guide my policies, and I have lots of policies and lots of issues that I'm interested in, but I come to my policies based on principles. And the principles that guide my policies are that I'm interested in evidence, in science, in what we can prove and what we can study, and looking at examples of success in policy in other places. So evidence-based policy is what we call that, and that's a really important principle when deciding how to deal with an issue. The second principle that I apply is about service, and I draw on my experience in government delivering services, and the principle that I apply is that I want to deliver excellent service. And so people should expect from the City of Toronto that when you call 311 or when you call your city councillor, that you will receive excellent quality service, that you'll get your problem solved, or at least understand why things are happening the way they are. And then the third principle that I apply when I'm developing policies is listening and a collaborative approach, and listening to people and meeting with people and talking to them and hearing what their concerns are, and applying the concerns and the interests of all of the people of the community to solving problems and dealing with issues.
咁Dan Fox 就話咧，我問佢有3樣嘢佢想做嘅，即刻可以喺個市政度有啲咩要做咧？咁佢就係3個概念嚟嘅。第一咧，佢就話我陣間會再問清楚一啲嘢嘅，我先翻譯一下先。第一，佢就話係個即係 science 嚟嘅，即係嘅嗰個科學有 evidence， 即係有數據支持啲嘢係咪做得到咁樣。咁我估呢個係一個透明度啊，或者數據上嘅嘢，我會再問下佢嘅呢個。第二咧，佢就話一個服務一個 service 啊，咁即係話佢好強調，因為佢又做緊 Service Canada 啦，咁佢好強調就話真係要俾到服務出嚟，即係當你打311嘅時間係真係得到一啲資訊，得到一啲服務，咁佢呢樣嘢係用呢一種形式去取向嘅。第3樣嘢咧就話佢係聽取民意啦，listening 啦咁即係聽多啲市民講嘅嘢，咁呢個咧我就亦都會再追問一下一啲詳細啲嘅情況。Let's go back and talk about a little bit more when you say evidence and science.
Okay.
Like you have not done this before, so what are you trying to say? Is it you make it a scientific approach to make things?
I take a scientific approach to solving problems, and I also I consult with experts, and I talk to people who have spent their whole lives studying an issue. So, for example, when it comes to transit planning, I will talk to experts who understand transit planning, who have been involved in planning urban transit for their whole lives, and work with them to understand why they make the recommendations they do and what the evidence is that supports their recommendations, and apply that evidence to recommending solutions. And that's the opposite approach from some people who take a populist approach. So there are politicians who respond to whoever shouts the loudest or demands that they get what they want, even when it's not something that is to the benefit of the whole city.
Oh, okay. Let me explain this one. Dan 嘅意思其實我又學到嘢喎，就係話 點為之話有證據有 science 咧？就話佢譬如話搞個運輸系統咁樣，咁佢嘅意思咧就話問下啲專家意見，問下啲唔同地方嘅經驗嚟到去取向嘅，就唔係話個 popular， 即係話唔係話好多人中意點就用嗰個方法。咁呢個我又覺得幾可取下。That was very good actually. The other thing about listening, this one I'm quite agreeable to you, and especially when I visit your website, you have a lot of coffee event.
Yes.
Is that part of your
That's part of how I'm running.
Idea?
It is part of my idea. It's part of how I'm running my campaign, and it is also how I will operate as a city councillor. It's all about listening to people, and so the best way to do that, I think, is over coffee. I really enjoy coffee. And so I want to meet with people as often as possible. And so I think the best way to do that in a community with lots of coffee shops is to every weekend tell people where I will be, invite them to meet with me, tell them about what their issues are, and to listen and to hear what the community is saying. And by doing that, I can better represent them at City Hall, and I also get to meet everybody in the community who wants to come out and meet me, and not be like some politicians who are afraid to meet with people. They stay at City Hall and they only do what they want.
Do you mind I motivate this to our audience to join your coffee schedule?
Absolutely. Everybody should visit the website and see when I'm meeting people for coffee and join me and tell me in person what your issues are, what your interests are in the community. Tell me about what you're doing in the community. If there are interesting projects that people are working on, I would love to hear about it. And this will help me get to know people in the community and work with them to make the community better, which is why I'm in politics.
And you are going to do this before your election and after?
Yes.
Can you promise?
I am committed to meeting people in a coffee shop every weekend until the election. And if I am elected, I will continue to schedule coffee meetings regularly. I don't know what the schedule will be after, because I have to get to the job and do the job also. But I will at least every month meet with people for coffee, and more often if I can, on a regular schedule that will be posted on a website, and everybody will be invited to join me for coffee, meet with me, tell me what their issues are.
嗱，呢個幾特別嘅，就大家聽眾們呢，如果你尤其是係住喺 Ward 24區呢，即係 Willowdale 呢，咁你係可以，其實我提議你真係可以同阿 Dan Fox 去飲下咖啡啊，即係講下你想要做嘅嘢，或者你認識下佢。因為你一上佢網站呢，就我唔係話淨係同佢宣傳嘅，不過就認識下，等大家有一個好正確啲嘅投票咁解啫。就係話，譬如話，你會睇到咧，佢喺8月嘅 schedule 嘅，就係話，譬如8月16號，this weekend 16 and 17，Donut Corner Bayview and Commer， 咁你可以去同佢飲下咖啡嘅嚇。8月23、24號 23rd、24th weekend is Tim Horton at Yonge and Welshwood. So these are the schedule， 即係呢啲咁嘅 schedule 咧，大家可以係去同一個政客傾下偈，講下你嘅意見，咁又幾有意思嘅嚇。即係 another way of rather than door to door。You are doing some door-to-door.
And I'm also visiting, I'm knocking on doors. It's an important part of the process in any election campaign to knock on doors, meet people in person, also to attend community events. And I've made it a goal before Election Day to knock on every single door in Ward 24. I'm well on my way there, and I hope to visit every single door. And if I get to your door, I knock on your door. If you're not there, please come find me at Coffee with the Candidate, or call or email or visit my website. I want to meet with as many people as possible, talk to people, and to continue to do that after the election as well. I'm always going to be interested in meeting with my community.
係啦，咁頭先同阿 Dan Fox 講咧，就話佢 即係呢種飲咖啡傾偈，即係佢所講嘅，即係聽從民意嘅一種文化咧。咁佢話即係而家做啦，我又令佢好似有少少 promise 咗，我就話之後佢都會咁做嘅。咁當然之後選咗之後，佢又睇下個時間點樣啦。但係我相信佢又唔會走雞嘅呢樣嘢，即係一個因為佢又幾有名堂地做呢個即係咖啡茶聚啊。有機會我或者都可以去下，雖然我唔係個區。I'm not living in that ward. Can I join the coffee?
Of course, you are always welcome.
Thank you. 咁係幾特別嘅一樣嘢啦，即係認識一個政客。Other than what you have done, what you will be doing for this ward if you were elected, tell us something about any community work and because looking at the census of the Ward 24, we have a very diverse community here. Chinese, in the way of our Chinese radio, we have about almost 30% in this ward, and then we have English-speaking 33%, and then we have a lot of Korean, Russian, Italian, Spanish, and so on. So, what do you think about all these diverse communities and so on, and what would you be doing?
Well, first of all, I think that diversity is great.
Yeah.
I love the diversity of my community, and I've had the opportunity to meet with different groups by being involved in politics for so many years, and I've worked with candidates from other communities, and I've met with politicians and with people from those communities, and I've worked in volunteer organizations that involved working with people from lots of different communities. I volunteered at the Olympics in 1996. I have volunteered with the Toronto Food Bank. I volunteered with the Toronto International Film Festival. And the film festival is one of our city's great events where we have an opportunity to invite the whole world to Toronto, and I think that's one of the really wonderful things about the city that I would encourage and continue is investment in the arts, for example.
頭先我就問咧，因為我每一次訪問咧，我都會睇下嗰個 ward 嗰個 census 嘅嚇。咁通常而家啲 census 都好新嘅，有2011年嘅 census 睇到，咁都係2-3年前啦。咁喺呢個 ward 度咧就都好多種族一齊嘅嚇。咁如果淨係講我哋中國人咁計咧，就有成30% 係中國人嘅。咁所以如果你哋出晒嚟選咧，你肯定係選到你所要嗰個候選人嘅嚇，因為你即係當然，如果個個都出晒嚟咧，咁就唔同啦。咁但係一般嘅投票率咧係40-50%，但係你30係出晒嚟咧，其實我哋做傳媒咧，同埋我哋即係咁落力做呢啲市選咧，都係為咗希望大家多啲出嚟投票參與，同埋選到，同埋要有啲責任選到真正嘅好嘅參賽人。咁Dan Fox 咧，佢就都做過好多市政嘅工作嘅，或者社區嘅工作。咁佢又參與過呢個Olympics 啦，1996年啦 Atlantic Olympics 啦，咁就 Food Bank 啦，多倫多嘅國際電影節啦 TIFF 啦 TIFF 啦，或者佢係一個猶太組織嘅一個 committee 嘅幫手啦，咁就好多嘅活動嘅就。This is a very great idea and opportunity for our audience to have a chance to meet with Dan Fox, and thanks for coming into our program. And so if our audience or any public or any citizens in this ward want to know more about yourself, and I'm sure we can Google Dan Fox, DANFOX, but is there any other contact you want to mention here?
Of course, you can always email me, and my email address is on my website. My website is danfox.ca, and my email and my phone number is there. And I would encourage you to contact me about any issues that relate to the city that you're interested in or that you want to express your views on, because I am very interested in hearing from people, but especially I would like to meet you in person. I would encourage everyone to come and meet with me at Coffee with the Candidate, which I hope will become Coffee with the Counselor after October 27th. And I would very much want to encourage also everybody to make sure that on October 27th that you do vote. This is a very important election. I think that the only way that we get a good result, that we get good leadership in our city, is if more people vote. And the more people that vote, the better the leadership we get. And so regardless of who you vote for, I would encourage everyone to vote, but also to meet with as many candidates as possible. And so I've made it easy for me for people to meet with me.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you
and
very much.
Good luck to your election.
Thank you very much. It was
Yeah,
great to be here.
and at least one more thing you can tell us after the election is where is the best coffee
Of course.
in your ward.
I will do that.
Okay, so please join Dan Fox at his coffee event. And yes, thanks again for coming. And good luck to your campaign. Enjoyed it. And vote responsibly and come out and vote. This is always our intention of this program. So 希望大家多啲出嚟投票，選出有責任地去選出你所要選嘅人。多謝大家，拜拜。
以上內容純屬個人言論，所提及嘅政綱均以嘉賓原話為準，並不代表本台立場，敬請留意。立場敬請留意。立場敬請留意。立場敬